All right, fair use. Shalom, shalom. It's your brother Wabram. You're back with another lesson, Lord. Will it be edifying? I want to start by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Waha, Rakakadash, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai. Double honor to the apostles, the elders, bishops, and great millstone who talking this truth. Shalom to the 144,000 men of the Lord. See on the highways and byways, prophesying in the name and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, also in the correct doctrine. I want to send a shalom to the 1/3 men, women, and children that will escape the judgment of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai by their faith. So you got another lesson I want to bring out through the Spirit of the Lord. As you see, things are heating up, and the elite are preparing for mass deaths, mass casualties. That's what's being planned and prepared right before your eyes, man. So I'm going to hit a couple of videos, hit a couple of scriptures, and Lord willing, to be edifying.
You're saying these fires smell like what?
Doesn't necessarily smell like a campfire burning, because as the smoke is carried across thousands of miles, sunlight breaks down these compounds, leaving behind toxic substances like benzene and formaldehyde, which is why the air can smell like chemicals. The American Lung Association warning of the long-lasting impacts from this, saying these particles can penetrate deep into the lungs and even enter the bloodstream.
Sunlight makes the air smell like chemicals now. I lived in California my whole fucking life. Never once has a wildfire smell like no goddamn chemicals. But let's see what else he's got to say.
Coal pollution triggers asthma attacks, heart attacks, and strokes, and can kill.
Wow. So not only does this wildfire smell like chemicals, but it can cause you to have a stroke and can kill you. That's a first.
So you see, man, they are putting chemicals in the air, and they're burning them off, man. It's going to cause, like you said, heart attacks, strokes. What's say about the asthma attacks. So these devils, man, they preparing for mass deaths, man, and that's what we warning you from. They getting ready. They only going to turn the heat up on these Babylonian people, man. Now check this out.
I don't think we have any food. I don't think we have any food. I think we are in a food shortage, and they are lying to us. I think that's why FDA decided to let meat companies sell lab-grown meat, and I think that's why all of a sudden this parasite is coming up. Because when our grocery stores' produce sections are empty, we are going to be like, oh, because of the parasite. When in reality, we don't have no food. The fertilizer never came. Y'all don't remember months ago the farmers were saying they need fertilizer, they need fertilizer, they need fertilizer. The strait has been closed. And maybe it opened for 32 hours total. And maybe 5 or 7 ships got through. I guarantee there was no fertilizer on there. Why you think all of a sudden the White House is gated up? Because when 300 million people figure out that we don't have no food, y'all know the rest.
Yeah, that's going to lead to death and destruction, man, because these people are going to lose their mind on the streets, man. And they're going to be in your house, they're going to be in your car, and it's going to be nothing but mass deaths, man. A lot of people going to be put to death because people are going to want them goods that you got. You walking by with a soda, bag of chips, they're going to crack your head for it, man. Now check this out, man. I got a bunch of videos I'm going to put out there.
You should be worried. Like, this is the time to stock up on food. Don't let them manipulate you into buying stocks and, buying too much gold. Like, no, babe, you need to be stocking up on meat. You need to be stocking up on blickies. Because people are going to start robbing their neighbors.
People are finna start robbing their neighbors. That's why you know what I mean? I was talking to a couple of friends today. We were talking about, hey, people gonna start robbing people at the gas pump in a minute. They don't want your money. They just want you to fill up their car. They go tap you on the shoulder with that blicky, man. I'm telling you, it's getting bad out here. And when people get hungry and desperate people do desperate things in desperate times. And just let's look at it and say, if I just work hard, I'll be okay. It doesn't matter no more. You can see people having to work 50, 60 hours. It doesn't matter if you're working more. Your income is not pacing with inflation. Right now, with the rate of inflation and the cost of everything, just to probably save a few dollars, you have to probably make about $50 an hour. Depending upon where you live at, how many kids you got, and what car you drive, about $50 an hour. And then they say, my job will take care of me. Nope. Your job, these jobs ain't loyal. You're a number to them. And if you ain't producing or they need to cut and your number is up, you're out. These jobs ain't loyal no more. You know, you used to have a job, man, 10, 15, 20 years, man. It's far and few between you hear people at their job that long now. I think the average person right now standing at the job 3 to 5 years. That's it. Either they get laid off or they go on somewhere else, you know?
But you have it, man. You can't sustain a lifestyle the way it is now. Paying $500-$600 a month in groceries and, you know, gas prices sky high. All the cost of living has skyrocketed. And that's why they're preparing for mass deaths, man. And that's what we warn you through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. But you got to be prepared mentally and spiritually for what's coming, man. Because no one is going to care if you ain't got no food, you can't eat. Nobody's going to care. Nobody's going to care about your cries. And the Edomites are preparing for what's coming, man. Mass deaths.
Here's the thing. The real vision is so psychopathic that it's very hard for people to believe that it's true. And you have to understand the people who are running the planet don't look at you and me as the same species as they. And what they want is they've now created a technological infrastructure where it's much easier and risk-free for them to have a much smaller population. So they would like to see significant depopulation, you know, on a steady basis, which is what they've been doing since the financial coup started in America. They've been steadily lowering life expectancy and steadily lowering fertility. So these are long-term trends, but if you look at what they're doing now with closing down the straits, right, coming into planting season, I mean, it looks to me like we may be facing an intentional engineering to engineer massive famine, very significant famine, and energy lockdowns. This time it won't be COVID. It'll be, oh, we can't afford the, you know, we have to preserve gas for national security. So, you know, we've seen these kinds of restrictions now in Thailand, Peru. You know, it's coming on around the world as the straits remain closed. So they want to reduce population, but what they want with the population that they're managing is they want to delegate the governance structure to an AI infrastructure like a social credit system that can do surveillance and institute spatial control and financial control at very, you know, a one-by-one level. And that's why you need all these massive data centers and extraordinary satellites and surveillance systems.
And see, that's the system. That's the beast system that's being put in place. So you won't be able to roam free and walk free because they're going to start rounding people up, man. They're calling for this beast system be set in place, and everyone knows about it now. If you're seeking the Lord, you know about what's been brought out in these videos. If you don't, you're clueless, man. It's going to catch you off guard because this is clearly what's being put in place. They're preparing for major events to happen where it's going to cause mass deaths, man. A lot of people are finna soon die. Now check this out. They're preparing for these concentration camps.
They were planning to build a network of concentration camps for Americans who didn't like the new system. They were planning to re-educate us in there. And the guy who infiltrated, you can watch the interviews they did. His name was Larry Grantwall, working for the FBI. He asked them, well, what do we do with the people who can't be re-educated? They're just, you know, die-hard capitalists or whatever. And they said to him, we're planning on having to exterminate about 10% of the American population, about 25 million people we plan to liquidate in these camps. So that's the kind of guy that the SPLC thinks is a model educator for your children.
That's incredible. I mean, and they say it out loud. They don't hide it. You know, I mean,
That's right.
of course, that's a similar message that we've heard from the Club of Rome, for the World Economic Forum people. We've heard this from people at the UN. We've heard this from people, Bill Gates type people.
Yeah.
Gates with his 10% reduction. If we get vaccines just right, we can cut the population by 10%.
Yep.
You know, there really is a broad belief in this, what we call the Malthusian, right? For people that are tracking along, I guess John Malthus guy for a long time ago, or Thomas Malthus for a long time ago.
So they're preparing to eliminate over 25 million people in Babylon the Great, which is America, man. So this is nothing they ain't hiding. They're telling you straight up, man. This ain't something, just made up and somebody just came up with it. They're telling you outright, man, what they're finna do. And like I said before, only the elect are gonna make it out of what's coming. You're not gonna make it because you was a good person or you believed in Jesus or whatever. The Lord is finna require you to have faith in him, and that's the true power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah, man. Let's hit a couple scriptures. This is Psalm 64, in verse 1. It says, "Hear my voice, O power, and my prayer. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy." And that's what the elect are praying for. It says, "Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked." See, the elite, the Illuminati, your Masons, they are the secret counsel of the wicked, man, because their information is not put out there. These agendas that they have in place, they've been planning for many years, man, before we was even born. It says, "Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words." And this is what they're speaking against, especially you blacks, Hispanic, and Native Americans, man. They want you to be destroyed, man, because they ultimately want their birthright back. But the Lord is not going to let them have it. Verse 4 says that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. See, all these agendas they had in secret, man. Now they're bringing it out and telling you straight up, man. And also, Mark Rubio, he just brought out that they're going to have visa restrictions on certain, they said the far left. So the far left is a code word for you blacks, Hispanic, and Native Americans, man. You low-level Edomites. That's what's code word. They're not going to let you escape Babylon the Great, man. It says that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. See, they're not going to fear. They're not going to fear what's going to happen to them. They're not fearing Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. The Lord is putting his spirit on them to continue forth with their agenda, because it's ultimately the Lord's judgment on 2/3 of his people. It says they encourage themselves in an even manner. They commune to lay snares privily. See, they're laying traps. And the only ones that's going to get caught in it is the 2/3. They say, "Who shall see them?" See, they don't believe the Lord is coming back. They don't believe Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is going to return. Because this is their mindset. Who shall see me? Who shall see them? They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. So they think deep about their agendas. These concentration camps, mass deaths, mass kill-offs and shit. So why would you have a camp like a campfire, forest fire smelling like chemicals, man? If they don't want you to breathe it in, man. Just like these chemtrails they spray in the sky. They have agendas that they have in place that they want to get accomplished before the Lord returns, man. Because they know with Revelations 12 and 12, I hit that real quick. They know they have a short time, man. So everything they have been put in place for many, many years, man, before we was even born. This is their time to execute their plan. This is Revelation 12 and 12. It says, "Therefore rejoice ye, O heavens, and you who live in," I'm just NLT, Salaki, let me get it in King James. It says, "Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down to you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he had but a short time." And see, the devil just means deceiver. That's what the devil is. It's not a little red man under the earth. It's the devil is the so-called white man to deceive the people to believe that he was a god, man. That's why he put Jesus Christ before you. This is Psalms 56. This is Psalms 56. And start at verse 1. It says, this is a psalm of David. when the Philistines took him to Gath. It says, "Be merciful unto me, O power, for man would swallow me up. He fight daily, oppresseth me." And this is what the Lord is praying to the Lord, man. This is what David is praying to the Lord, man. Be merciful unto me, because he knew that he was in the hands of the enemy. He says, be merciful unto me, O power, for man would swallow me up. He fighteth daily, oppresseth me. My enemies would daily swallow me up. And see, Esau is our enemy, man. Even though you work with them and you talk to them, they are the enemy, man. Regardless of how you feel about them. It says, my enemies would daily swallow me up, for they be many that fight against me, O thou most high. What time I am afraid, I will trust in thee. See, the elect are going to trust in the Lord, regardless of whatever happens, man. When we're afraid, we're going to trust in the Lord. Our backs against the wall, we're going to trust in the Lord. This is our faith. It says, what time I am afraid, I will trust in thee. In power will I praise his word. And that's why we constantly stay in the word, man. We don't go a day without getting in this word, man. So this is what's strengthening us through the Spirit. It says, in power I have put my trust. I will not fear what flesh can do unto me. And that's plain, man. Even if you're into one of those camps, and you may have to give your life to the Lord, or give a life for the Lord is not going to have you afraid at the time. He said, will be with us to the very end. Verse 5, it says, every day they wrest my words. All their thoughts are against me for evil. See, everything they put in place is against you for evil, man. They'll put something out there and then make it seem like you are far left, or you against them, or you in all this madness, man. This is how they use their media to manipulate the people's mind, man. And that's why no one has risen up against them, because they have that media is witchcraft, man. They can put out whatever they want to online and make you believe it. If you see it a lot of times, you'll start believing it. Oh, that got to be true. So this is where the word comes into play, man. You got to pray to the Lord. Verse 6, it says, they gather themselves together, they hide themselves, they mark my steps when they wait for my soul. And this is what Esau has done. That's why you got these flock cameras up here, man. They can track your license plate, they can track your phone with Bluetooth. They got this beast system set up, man, to the T, man. And you are in a surveillance system, man. You're in a beast system, a surveillance. Everything is being surveyed. You're in a surveillance state. Everything is wherever you go, you're being surveilled, man. From going to the damn Kroger's and doing a checkout, self-checkout. They got your facial recognition there. The cameras on the streets. You walk in Walmart, the camera's up. Everywhere you go, man. Even when you go to your phone Bluetooth, it can ping off different towers and shit, man. There's no way you can get away from the hand of Esau, man. This is his system. They gather themselves together. They hide themselves. They mark my steps when they wait for my soul. Shall they escape by iniquity? In thy anger cast them down, the people, O power. It says, again in the NLT, it says, do not let them get away with their wickedness. And that's what we're telling you, man. When you repent to the Lord, you know they're not going to get away. The elite, they're not going to get away with what they're doing, man. It says, do not let them get away with their wickedness. In your anger, O power, bring them down. See that? In your anger, bring them down. And that's what we know is going to happen, man. We know this for a fact. This is going to happen. It's written. This is Psalms 109 and verse 1. It says, hold not thy peace, O power, of my praise, for the mouth of the wicked and the mouth of the deceitful are open against me. And that's what the agendas they put against us, man. It says, they have spoken against me with a lying tongue. See, they're hypocrites, man. They'll say you're doing something, they've been doing it for many years, but they'll make it seem like what you're doing is worse than what they're doing, man. It says they compass me about also with words of hatred and fought against me without a cause. For my love, they are my adversaries. See that? For my love, they are my adversaries, but I give myself unto prayer. And see that goes to show you that we're not supposed to rise up against them with our own power. This is the Lord's fight, man. It says, and they have rewarded me evil for good and hatred for my love. So you're never going to get these Edomites to change the way they act, man. You're never going to get them to change the way they think about Jake, man. That's why you see on X, man, just everything going viral. If it's against a so-called Black, Hispanic, or Native American man, it goes viral, man. They call it with fatigue, nigger fatigue, and it goes to show you that they truly hate you, man. Let me get that in the NLT, man. It's 109:4. Psalms 109:4. It says, I love them, but they try to destroy me with accusations. And that's plain, man. Even as I am praying for them. See, and that's what Jacob do. He'll go pray for the enemy. And the enemy is still not going to change the way his mind is, man. This is their nature, man. The Lord has always set good against evil. Verse 5, it says, they repay evil for good and hatred for my love, man. So that's why you're seeing so many jakes getting hung on these trees and shit, man. They trying to appease their enemy, man. They want to be joined with them in some type of way, man. They want that what you call that, to be one with their enemy. They want that pat on the back, in other words, man, from the oppressor, man. And he's never going to change the way he is. This is 2 Ezra 16 and verse 17. It says, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows, and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death. And that's where we at, the beginning of all hell breaking loose, man. It says the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear, and the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? And this is what Ezra was saying, man. What are you going to do? So that goes to show you the reincarnation is factual, man. Verse 19, it says, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. See, this is for punishment for the 2/3, man. It ain't for the hopeful elect, man. It says, but for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourge. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And that's what our people think, man. Things are still kind of reasonable. You can still go to a concert and have fun, but not knowing that this is coming to the beginning of sorrows, man. Hard times, bad times, man. It says, even then shall evils grow upon earth. See, all hell is soon to break loose, man. It don't seem like it is now because nothing is really, nothing has really happened so far. But it's soon to break loose all of a sudden. It says, sword, famine, and great confusion. For many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish from famine. And that's what's soon going to happen, man. Shall perish of famine. And like she was saying that they didn't get the fertilizer, man. It's already a famine, man. But they're not letting you know because you still can go to the grocery store and get that processed meat. You still can go and get the vegetables and shit that's been grown with human feces. You're still able to do that, man. But we're seeing things being put in place, man. 22 again, it says, for many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. So if you didn't get put to death by famine, you're gonna get put to death by the sword, man. And that's by by gun, by one of these in one of these camps. So the Lord got things set up, man, and put in place, man. Jeremiah 1-3 tells you that he got 4 kinds of death that he's gonna bring on his own people, man. 23 it says, and the dead shall be cast out as dung. And so you're gonna have people out here just dead on the streets, man. And it ain't gonna be no burials. It ain't gonna be nobody, mourning for you. It says, and there shall be no man to comfort them. See, there's not gonna be no burials. There's not gonna be anybody crying for you, mourning for you, man, putting flowers on your grave. That day is gonna be over with, man. It says, for the earth shall be wasted, and the cities shall be cast down. There shall be no man left to till the earth and to sow it. See, it's gonna be mad chaos out here, man. You don't have nobody want to go out in the open. Because a lot of people going to be out here in militia groups, man, gangs, even the government rounding people up, man. These are the times we're heading into, man. He said, the trees shall give fruit, and who shall gather them? See, nobody's going to be able to pluck in the fields trying to get fruit, man. It's going to be out there, but nobody's going to run and get it, man. The Lord is setting up mass death and chaos, man. The grapes shall ripen, and who shall tread them? For all places shall be desolate of men. See, all places are going to be desolate of men, man. And this is the times we're heading into, man. And there's no turning back. The Lord is going to make this thing speed up even more than what it is, man. See, I just seen today where the Iranians, the Persians, are on the border of Kuwait, ready to put in, ready to go into a ground invasion, man, into Kuwait, man. So World War III, the Battle of Armageddon is already, man, it's already happening, man, and the Babylon the Great is already in it. This is Second Esdras 5 and verse 1. It says, "Nevertheless, as the coming tokens, behold, the days shall come that they which dwell upon earth shall be taken in great number, and the way of truth shall be hidden." See, the hopeful elect that's been seeking the Lord, they got it now. And the Lord is soon to take this information, this truth, off the highways and byways and off the internet, man. And who don't receive it or didn't receive it in the time that was allotted is going to be stuck out there, man. They're going to be stuck out there. It says, "And the way of truth shall be hidden, and the land shall be barren of faith." See, no one is going to have faith in the Lord in that day we're coming into, man. Because they're going to be fending for themselves. They're going to be fending for their lives, man. "But iniquity shall be increased above that which now is seen, thou seest, or that thou hast heard long ago," man. So the time we're coming into, man, is going to be way worse than what it is now. You're just seeing people getting put to death. And the other day I seen where the lady in Australia, she ate a 4-year-old baby, man. So iniquity is going to get way worse than that, man. This is just the beginning of it. "But iniquity shall be increased above that which thou seest, or that thou hast heard long ago," man. So it's going to be way worse than what we heard before, man. Things is happening in the earth, man. It says, "In the land that thou seest now to have root shall suddenly be wasted." See? And that's the destruction that comes, man. It's going to be suddenly wasted. So I'm going to end it there. Lord willing was edifying. Shalom. Shalom.